Welcome to the Mother-Daughter Date podcast. I'm Jennifer Valentine.
I'm Georgia Valentine.
And we're here with you again.
Yes.
People didn't think it would last. They were wrong.
Wait, what would last?
The Mother-Daughter Date podcast.
Oh. I thought you meant like us. I'm like, that's really deep.
Oh.
Who said that?
We better last. I don't think we have a choice. We're mother and daughter. We're blood related.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we can't get mad at each other.
We get mad at each other all the time. But are you gonna like not speak to me one day and leave the house, and I'm never gonna see you again?
If you killed Dixie.
What? I'm not gonna kill our dog.
Hypothetically, I didn't say you would, but if you did, or you killed Nugget or Baxter, honestly, I'd probably leave for at least a few months.
All right.
Until I needed money.
I wouldn't blame you if you never spoke to me again. But
Okay.
I think our bond is pretty tight. But you never know. There are some mothers and daughters that don't get along.
Yeah, I could be adopted, hypothetically, and then I would also be mad at you.
Why?
Because I'd be like, why didn't you tell me I'm adopted?
Is that what you think? You think that if somebody's adopted that the parents should tell them?
Yes. Okay. I don't know what we're digging up right now, but that's common sense, Mom.
No, really. There are lots of kids that didn't find out till later in life.
And that's wrong. That's just not okay.
I don't know.
Are you kidding?
Would you want to know?
Yes.
Why? What would it matter?
Because I'd want to know if I came out of someone else's vagina.
Okay, you're being ridiculous.
That's being honest.
So, okay, if you did find out that you were adopted, would you want to find your birth mother and father?
I don't know. I'd want to know what they look like.
So you would want that option.
I probably wouldn't speak to them, but I definitely would want to know if they looked like models.
Yeah, and what happens if they didn't? What does it matter what they look like?
Because I look like them. But I look like you guys.
You look like your father, but you did come out of me.
Yeah, but not your vagine.
Yeah, that's what you call it, a vagine. No, I had 2 C-sections because I had to.
You didn't have to have the second one, did you?
No. Well, actually, okay, so I do have a heart-shaped uterus, and we didn't know why Jackson was at the top of the heart. And when they opened me up, that's what the doctor said. She said, "Look, you have a heart-shaped uterus."
I tell everybody Jackson had a big head, and that's why you had to get it done.
Jackson did have a very big head. He did, and I was afraid. But you get to a point where, you know, you go so far along, and then you don't care how the baby comes out of you.
Honestly,
it could come out of your nose as long as it gets out of you.
If I don't have a C-section, I'm not having a baby.
Oh, come on. You can do it.
I will not push unless I have a C-section.
You can't do that.
Dude, I can't even see your scar. So like,
My scar? No, I don't have a scar.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
So it's like,
Yeah, and then the second time, because I got pregnant so quickly after Jackson was only 6 months, they suggest you have it because they don't want your uterus torn because it still hasn't fully healed.
when you push out a baby out of your vagina, can you feel it when you take pain medication? When they put that needle in your back, do you still feel your vagina opening up?
Okay, you're asking the wrong person because I didn't do it. I think that maybe.
Honestly,
I don't know.
it scares the living crap out of me.
Does it?
Yeah, there's a thing where sometimes when women give birth, their vagina and their bumhole intertwine, and then you have to get stitches because it splits.
Yeah.
Or sometimes women poop.
You need to cut it.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you probably don't feel it.
And if I do,
until after.
If I do, the man who helped me make that baby better not be in the room because I don't want him seeing my vagina and butthole come as one.
He probably will be in the room.
He better not be looking. He can look at my beautiful face. That's what's most important.
What, are you going to be in full makeup?
Yeah, probably.
I was.
Have you met me?
I was in full makeup with Jackson.
Oh, because you had a C-section though, so you knew what was happening.
I did know what was happening.
You got your hair done.
My hair was done. But they have to cut through 7 layers of skin. But I did not feel it. And even after, I know the recovery is different for different women. But I had a great recovery. I really did.
7 layers.
That's what they said. 7 layers. They open you right up. You've seen the video.
I know, but I try to tune it out of my brain as much as I can.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
So the video happened by mistake because we didn't know we were going to videotape that. And then all of
who
a sudden,
filmed it?
your father.
And he was just like, I guess I'll videotape it. And he pulled out a camera.
He just pulled out the camera and it just happened. And I don't know. Like you could see pretty much everything. Yeah, it's pretty freaky to watch it back.
You were so lucky.
He still loves me? Why?
Because he had to see that?
Yeah, he didn't care.
Oh.
I'm the love of his life, Georgia.
But there's got to be some boundaries in that sentence.
It was quite the experience. But look what I got from it. 2 beautiful children. Yes, you. And I'm sure that you'll be fine. You know, and you know what? I was really afraid to give birth naturally until it got closer to the end. And then I had to have a C-section. But by the end, you're okay with it. You really are. You just want that baby out. And my doctor, Dr. McLeod, who you haven't met yet.
Yes, I have. I met her at a grocery store in Loblaws.
No, you didn't.
This isn't an ad, by the way. But I did meet her in Loblaws.
How did you meet her in Loblaws?
Remember we were walking by and you were like, whoa, it's my doctor. Blah, blah, blah. And she pulled you out of me. And I was like, whoa.
What?
Yeah. I don't remember what she looks like, but I remember speaking. I said, hi.
But we did a whole car chat. I mentioned it. And you said you haven't seen her since you came out of me.
I may have lied.
Oh, gosh.
I could be lying now, but I don't think I am.
Do you lie?
I think I do it by mistake because there's just sometimes my brain's not all there.
You do. If you lie, you do it by mistake because you never lie. You always tell the truth. And it's almost to the point where it's uncomfortable that you tell the truth.
Yeah.
Like if I'm telling a story and I'm embellishing that story and I'm...
You mean you're lying about the story?
No. I'm stretching the truth to make the story sound...
Exciting.
More entertaining.
Okay.
And then you, in the middle of my story, and the person that I'm telling the story to is on the edge of their seat, and I'm just about to get to the final part of the story, and you'll go, Mom,
no.
that's not the way it happened. And you ruin the whole thing.
Because why don't you just tell the real story?
Because it's not as good. I might change a few things, but it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make a huge difference. It just makes a better story, and you ruin it every time.
Not every time. Sometimes I make it better.
No, you tell the truth.
They know that it was the truth, and they leave satisfied knowing that they got the real deal.
So you get that truth thing from your father because your father never lies. So if I'm wearing an outfit and it's ugly, he's going to tell me, which I do appreciate.
No, you know what I hate when people lie about stories to make themselves sound way more interesting than they are. It annoys the crap out of me because I'm like, you just want attention. And I will say, not you specifically. I'm not calling you.
I'm thinking right now that you're talking about me.
No. But when someone's like, oh my God, I almost fell off a building, but I caught myself with my strength in my abs and I totally didn't. And I'm like, oh, really? Because I saw you fall on someone like help. This is a very extreme version, but it's like when someone else actually helped them from falling off the building and they cried like a little girl.
Who was on the edge of a building?
Nobody.
Which one of your friends?
I hate it when people lie about that kind of stuff and they're like, oh, I saved myself. And I'm like, that's not true. You just want to be big and mighty.
That's a weird story.
It was a weird word.
It's a weird story. Now I think you're lying. Now I think you're a liar. Okay, so you get that truth thing from your father because your father always tells the truth. And sometimes to the point where I'm like, can you lie a little? Seriously? Can you just say something nice? I don't know. So why do you feel like you have to tell the truth?
Because I think people deserve the truth. I don't want to make it up. I don't feel fulfilled if I tell something that isn't true.
But do you ever feel like you're telling a story and you might want to embellish it? And not lie.
The only time that I've thought about that was in stand-up comedy when they told you to embellish it. But now, you know what sucks? Is every time I watch stand-up, I think, oh, that was probably a lie. Because who would do that? Who would be that big of a character? And I think they lied about that. So now every time I watch something like John Mulaney's special. I was like, that was a lie. There's no way that really happened.
So do you think that it was true before? Did you think that?
Yes. Did you not?
No. I think parts of it are true. So when you did stand-up comedy,
yeah, that's true.
You took a story that was true.
I didn't really embellish it though.
No, you did. You did tell a few lies up there when you were on stage.
Yeah, but you know what the lies were? The ones you told me to say.
Because I'm a good liar.
No, you're just good at making stuff up. I'm the one who lied. You sat there and watched me do it.
And I laughed because you were funny.
Yeah.
You can do that in real life all the time, Georgia. You can just lie all the time and everyone will think you're the funniest person in the room.
Have you ever lied about your name at a bar?
No.
When you went to a bars?
No, and you haven't because you've never been to a bar, right? I used to be a telephone marketer, a telephone solicitor for a vacuum cleaner company. And every night I would go in, I would have to get 7 people to say yes to a vacuum cleaner demonstration a night, 10 on Saturdays, or I was fired. And I would change my name every night. So one night I was Tiffany. The next night I was Brandy.
I do it when guys go up to me.
And what do you say your name is?
Alexis. I don't know. Genevieve. Patricia.
What? Why?
I say that I'm here from Germany.
And do you have a German accent?
No, because I was born in Canada, but I'm coming back because I'm training as a gymnast. Things like that.
Yeah.
I live on the edge.
Yeah.
Some people smoke drugs. Some people inhale them.
I'm going through your purse and stealing your fake ID. It's going in the garbage.
Wait, what? My fake ID? Wait, did you say I have a fake ID?
Do you have a fake ID?
No.
Why are you smiling?
Because I'm uncomfortable.
Gee, I thought you never lied, Georgia.
You know what? That was sarcasm. This is different.
Do you feel that you tell me everything?
Yes.
Okay, good.
97% I will tell you.
So you do lie sometimes, or do you just not tell me? And do you feel that that's not lying?
Oh, I've definitely lied to you, but I'm never going to tell you what the lie is because I will get grounded.
All right, now that I know that you lie, when I tell a story and I'm embellishing it, don't call me out.
No, it's not a story and embellishing it. I'm lying because I'm going to get in trouble and I don't want to get my butt whooped. That's the difference.
What is getting your butt whooped? Have I ever whooped your butt?
With words.
Have I ever hit you?
Mentally, yes. Physically, no. Mentally, you've whipped me in the face. That should count. Parents.
Okay, this is the truth. If I am nice, probably 98% of the time. I think so. Like I'm a nice mom.
Let's tone it down a bit.
But let's say
let's go to 90.
Okay.
Because women get their periods, and I'm not making stereotypes, but it does help.
Okay. So when I'm on my period, so that 10% of the time.
Okay.
When I do get mad at you, I get mad.
Yeah, you know what, it is 98 because you never get mad.
What?
But you get mad at really dumb stuff, which I think is so weird. I will ask you for $1 million and you say, yeah, take it.
I don't have
what is
$1
it
million.
for? And I say drugs and you'll go, smoke it up, baby.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Can we just
hypothetically?
No. That's a lie.
Hypothetically. This is all hypothetical, folks. But then I'll say, I'm going to my friend's house for dinner. And you'll go, what the? What the heck? How could you think you could do that after everything I've done for you?
Okay, now you're exaggerating.
And then you start bringing other things in. When you were 5, I did this, and this is how you repay me. You are the worst.
Yeah, okay, now you're lying.
Do you remember when I asked you to go to a birthday party and you forgot the girl This is how good my mom's memory. My mom has the best memory, and it always shocks me for what she doesn't remember. She didn't remember my friend, and she didn't let me go to the party, and she actually told me I was grounded. When you say you never grounded me, you did, for the no reason. You said you didn't know this girl, so I didn't get to go. And then 1 week later, you came downstairs and you went, "Oh, I'm gonna change her name. Oh, Petunia had a party."
That's the name you chose?
I was gonna say her real name, so I got nervous.
Does it start with a P?
Petunia, no.
Okay. Petunia had a party. Why didn't you go?
Why didn't you go? It would
Why
have been
weren't
so
you
much
invited?
fun. There were so many pictures on Facebook, and I looked at you, and I was so mad at you. I was like, "How could you say that?"
Okay, you know what? If memory serves correct, there was something else going on that night.
There wasn't. I stayed at home.
You know what I think it was? I think that you had gone out, like you are a social butterfly, so you go out constantly with friends. You're always out. One night it's Maddie, one night it's Dasha, one night it's Lucas, one night it's every night. There's always somebody to go to lunch with, to have dinner with. And then it was like a Sunday night, and I was like, who has a birthday party on a Sunday night? And it was just Petunia did. And then you were on your way out again, and I think I just had it. It was like, are you ever home? I don't even know this girl.
Now
and
I'm
all
home
of a sudden,
all the time.
Yeah, you.
No,
yeah.
This is before quarantine. I've been home pretty a lot, often.
But now we're home all the time together, and I should have let you go to that birthday party. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Because now look at all the time that you get to spend with me.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
We honestly don't spend any more time together now than we did before.
We've always spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And what I'm loving right now is
I get to do as much mother-daughter dates as you want me to do.
Right here in our own home. I have you all to myself. Listen, I don't like the situation of the world right now. This is devastating for all of us and unfair. And sometimes it's really hard to be positive. But we're all in this together, and we're all home together. And
well, technically we're not all home together, but separately.
In separate rooms. But it's nice to see you and Jackson bonding. I like that you are working on some music and singing and.
Yeah, but we're always close.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but we're not really bonding because we've already bonded. We're already past that point in our lives.
But you're spending more time together.
Yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Yeah. I
go down and I annoy him a lot. He hates me. I tell him he smells a lot.
You tell everyone they smell a lot.
Yeah, because you know why? It's the best insult. How do you recover from that? And even if someone is joking, you think about it for a little bit. You go, what if I do smell? Because you can't smell yourself.
You can't?
Only if you smell god awful.
I'm going to leave this podcast because we're not even doing what we thought we were going to do for this podcast. We just started talking, and this is what this turned into, because we were going to do dad jokes, but now we're going to save that for our next podcast.
I needed a pick-me-up because I've been pretty tired today.
Yeah, so this picked you up?
We were both up at the same time, and I walked into her room, and we were both awake at 3 a.m. So
yeah, you were on the phone or doing FaceTime. Was it with Lucas? Who were you
No,
doing
I wasn't FaceTime anyone. I was listening to podcasts. When I can't sleep, I listen to podcasts, and it wasn't working. I was listening to oh my gosh, I have to tell you what it's about.
Okay, tell me. You did come in my room at 3 o'clock in the morning. You brought the cat in because the cat was bothering you.
You know why? Because the cat's getting so needy, even though I love him to death.
He loves sleeping with you.
Call Her Daddy podcast.
Call Her Daddy? What is that?
It's like two girls who just talk about sex. Oh my like going out in New York.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Is it a popular podcast?
Yeah, it's so popular. It's on like the top 25 right now.
So are you saying it's more popular than the mother-daughter date podcast?
They just talk about sex all the time. It reminds me of me and Dasha. Not because we talk about sex. It's because we talk about like guys and we joke around and they like.
How old are these girls?
I have no idea.
Okay,
they live alone in New York. They're like work.
And do they just go out and do they have sex with people?
Like not like all the time, but they have sex.
Do they talk about details?
Yes.
About the men they've been with?
They update people on like what they're doing.
It's like a modern day Sex in the City on a podcast.
Yeah, but it's like definitely PG-13, maybe rated R.
Yeah, 13. I don't want a 13-year-old listening to that. I don't want you listening to that.
No, it's funny. It's actually funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll listen to it and I'll let you know what I think. Do you listen to any other podcasts? Why don't we recommend some podcasts? I don't listen to a lot of them.
David Dobrik's podcast with Jason.
Mm-hmm. You love David Dobrik. You always have.
And I like their conversations.
Mm-hmm. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious. What's that? My dad made a porno.
What?
Where this guy reads his dad's porno, like
his dad. What?
Yeah, his dad made a porno, like a book or something, and then
like a pornographic book.
Yeah,
his father.
Maybe it's not porno. My dad made a porn book.
What are all these sex podcasts?
This is like his dad made the worst porn story ever, and it's like awful and like disgusting, and he's married, and it's just like a weird fantasy thing, and his friends just read it and make fun of it.
Anything else?
Those are my main ones. Cody Co has one, I think. Mother-daughter date.
Why do you love listening to podcasts so much?
I listen to them when I go to sleep only. Yeah? Because if you have a lot on your mind, then that's a great way to go to sleep.
It's good to know. And that's why I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I had a lot on my mind.
Well, because if I watch TV, I'm not going to sleep.
Right.
Like my eyes are open, so I'm just going to stay up. But if I have a podcast on, and on the podcast app, you can have a self timer, so you can do a sleep timer.
Right. Okay.
And you can go to sleep.
Well, to end this podcast off, I thought that we would talk about, and we've talked about it before, but the number one thing people ask me is, how do you get your daughter to like you? Because it's sometimes it's really hard, and I think that's normal. I did not get along with my mother when I was a teenager, and it's so sad because my mother died when I was a teenager, when I was 19. So right before, it happened right before we had a chance to form a friendship. So usually, you go through a few years of not getting along with your mother and not getting along with your daughter, and then you develop a friendship as you get into your 20s. So I never had that chance to develop that relationship, which made me feel really guilty when she did pass away, because I felt like I was really mean to my mom. But when I read a book called Motherless Daughters, and it talks about the things that you go through during that time. So if you lose your mom when you're 10, or you lose your mom when you're a teenager, these are all the things that you go through. And it made me forgive myself. I learned to forgive myself, because that's what I was going through at that time. And it's so normal for mothers and daughters to fight during those teen years and not get along. But then you find your way and you form a friendship. So I personally think that I worked at becoming friends with you because of the experience that I had. I'm your mother first and foremost, but having a good relationship was very important to me. But why do you think we get along so well?
I think because you don't discipline me for everything I do, which is like, oh, you should punish someone if they do something wrong, or make sure that your kid's perfect. And it's like, they're going to do something stupid, and you should just know that at this point. And if you keep getting mad at them, they're not going to tell you things, and then you're not going to have a comfortable relationship. Like, you can have a relationship with your parents without having a comfortable one, like where I can like tell you something and be honest with you and like ask for advice without you like wanting to kill me. I think that's it. Like, just kind of being truthful. And like, I think the number one word is comfortable. Like,
yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because the advice that I always give is to always,
they're your friend, which is like, people are like, oh, she's not just my friend, she's my mom though, she gives me rules and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but like, she wants to be your friend too. Like, you're not like, she doesn't make you to like tell you what to do. That's not like her goal in life. And I think people think of parents as that.
I just tell parents, close your eyes and remember what it was like to be that age. Remember what it was like to be 8. Remember what it was like to be 10. Remember what it was like to be 14, 15, 16. What did you do? So if you started going into your parents' cupboard and taking alcohol, then chances are your kids are going to do that too. So it's better to be open and honest.
Put the alcohol in the freezer.
That's right. Well, thanks for listening to the Mother-Daughter Date podcast, advice from my daughter and I. And we just had a lot of fun. We were going to do some dad jokes, but how about we save that for the next podcast?
Yes.
All right.
We might wear the same thing for the next podcast. We might look the exact same as if it's going to about to happen in 10 minutes. Don't be fooled.
It's because we're staying inside. We just wear the same clothes all the time.
Yeah, all the time. And we keep the makeup on. And if it looks any different, we make it look like it did during this podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
For now.
For now. Pow wow.
Wow.